Hey guys, welcome to the Gods Unchained beta with the Professor. So here's the Monday Mythic meta for the ranked weekend event that ran on January 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Go ahead and take a look at our top players. Here's GU decks, and let's look at our top 20 players. We have a good amount of players that had 20 wins or more for this past weekend. Let's go ahead and take a look at which decks had the most wins. Alright, so for this past weekend, we can see the top number of wins were at 22. We have Light and Nature both with 22 wins, followed by Magic, and the last three topped out at 20, which is Deception, Death, and War. So it is the first time I've seen a War deck finish in the top 20. Let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdowns of which decks were used. Here's the Nature deck with 22 wins. It's the standard mid-range Big Beast deck. Only one player in the top 10 used Nature, and they came in first place with 22 wins. Second and third place also had 22 wins. Next we have Light. Light came in second, third, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So 6 out of the top 10 players used a Light deck to rack up 20 plus wins. So with the recent change to Heaven's Light, there was a couple decks that were fairly common this past weekend. There's the standard mid-range Light deck that used to run Heaven's Light but transitioned over to using Heal. Cards are more or less stable. There's slight variations but more or less the same. One recent addition is the Blind Martyr. But for the most part, this mid-range Light deck didn't deviate too much from the previous build. On the other side, there was a new variation of Light deck that emerged after the Heaven's Light change. This one ran Summon Acolyte. This deck focused more on a lower curve. You can see that it tops out at 6 mana. So again, Light was popular this past weekend with 6 of the top 10 players running a Light deck. Next we have our top Magic deck at 21 wins. It is the standard control Magic deck. We've seen this previous weekends. For this past event, 2 players ran the Magic deck and they finished in 4th and 10th. At 20 wins, we have a Deception deck. This is the aggro rush version, which we've seen in previous weekend events. Only one player ran a Deception deck into the top 10 and it came in 9th place. And here's our Death deck with 20 wins. This one's the board wipe Death deck. The player that ran this deck didn't finish in the top 10, but they tied with several players at 20 wins, good enough for top 20. And last but not least, we have War breaking in at 20 wins. There was one player that ran War and finished in the top 20. They finished with 20 wins, which tied several players that finished in the top 10. So that's our recent weekend event, with Light showing a strong performance with several players piloting it to the top 10. So let's see how the next ranked weekend event goes if Light continues their strong showing. But for now, congratulations to our top players and good luck on your prizes.